hard thing about making a vlog? Figuring out what the subject of that vlog will be, let alone figuring out what you're going to talk about. This week was way more difficult because I was going through a bit of an equipment crisis. Now I'm sure you guys want to know what that crisis was, so let me show you. Well, it's because this camera died on me, and if you know anything about creating content on the YouTube channel, the last thing you need is for your camera to die. It just doesn't work. So let's talk about the crisis it caused, how I handled it, and the solution. This is my Canon M50. I got it in the spring of 2019. Adding it as a tool helped me take my channel to the next level. You see, most of the videos that were hold on one second. Most of the videos that I created on this channel were created on my cell phone. Not this particular cell phone, but on a cell phone. I was really able to make some really decent videos with that cell phone, or cell phones, because I went through about 3 of them during that period. It was a lot of phones. But I was able to make some really decent videos with the cell phones, but there were issues that just were driving me nuts and made me want to get a camera, either a DSLR or mirrorless. So in 2018, the opportunity presented itself for me to upgrade to a camera, which I gladly took. To be honest with you, I was ready. It was just too many issues, people calling, interrupting videos. It was a lot. But I had to figure out what was the best camera to get, and there were a bunch of choices, just a bunch of choices. Yeah, the Sony cameras, Panasonics, the Nikons, everybody had a camera. And it was at the time that this camera, the Canon M50, was really taking the world of YouTube by storm. Basically, everybody that was doing a review of this camera, they either hated it or they loved it. So I really didn't want to make the wrong choice, so I was doing a ton of YouTube research. That's how I discovered Potato Jet and Jesse Driftwood, who I have beef with. I got beef with you, Jeff Driftwood. You don't know me, and it's only in my brain, but I got beef with you. So if we should ever meet, we're gonna settle this beef that you have no idea because you don't know me, you don't know I exist, but it doesn't matter. I have beef with you, Jesse Driftwood, but I like your videos. But yeah, it's how I discovered Potato Jet and Jesse Driftwood. Now I can't talk. Who were both using the M50 at the time, or doing very in-depth reviews, and that really is what put me over the top with getting this camera. So long story short, besides the recommendations that were coming from these newly discovered YouTubers, I had a couple of requirements that I needed to make this happen, and the main one was this: the flip out screen. Full disclosure, fam, this is the first interchangeable lens camera I ever bought. And I didn't want to make the wrong choice, so I sought a lot of advice from friends that were in the industry, as well as, of course, watched a bunch of YouTube videos. A lot of YouTube videos. So the issue was, I was coming off using my cell phone and all the difficulties I was having using my cell phone. It wasn't set up really for sound. The shotgun mic I had a shotgun mic, and I didn't have the proper rigging for it, and it was just all over the place. It just was like I couldn't get my framing right. There were just things that I just was not happy with, and I was researching, and I knew upgrading to a camera would be the best one. But everybody wanted me to get a Sony, but I'm kind of self-aware, guys, and I know some things about the Sony was going to really annoy me eventually, and I was going to hate myself. Buyer's remorse. And you never want to have buyer's remorse. So it was 2 things. It was the hot shoe mount and the screen. So if you know anything about Sony's back then in 2018, Sony's have the flip up screen. which is cool, except if you have a shotgun mic mounted to your hot shoe mount, then the flip up screen becomes very hard to see. And if I can't see myself, I can't frame myself. Once again, I would have been mad. And I would have felt like I wasted my money. So the thing I liked the most was the flip out screen, because it flipped out. I could see myself. I could frame myself properly, just like I'm doing right now. And it was the thing that pushed me to get this camera. So what killed the M50? Well, that's a little bit more difficult to say. Let me just say this. When I got this camera right here, this camera was doing great for me. It really was. I literally had no issues with it. But then started having issues with the battery failing, catastrophic failures. They started off like every now and then, so it wasn't really a big thing, and I just thought it was just something that happened with the camera. But as the years got on, and the older this camera got, and of course I'm using it for all my YouTube videos, the failures began to get worse and worse. And it got so bad that about a month ago, I couldn't get further than maybe 20 to 30 seconds before it would fail. Yeah, that's what can you do? I can't create. It was cooked. It was done. So I knew I needed to get a new camera. But this is why I say timing is everything. I was actually considering upgrading my camera well before I even got COVID. And that was mainly due to the issues with the battery at that time getting progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. I was already looking into moving away from my M50 into another camera. But of course, the question now comes, what's the next camera? One of the reasons why I really enjoy using this Canon M50 was because it taught me so much about using a camera, because I'm not a photographer or filmographer by nature. I've always just done comics and slight animation and that type of thing. I've always kind of been over there painting, drawing, all of that. Using this camera allowed me to learn, you know, just some best practices and some things that I just didn't know. It also helped me to learn lighting and other things like that. So this was really a blessing in disguise, because this camera really was kind of like my preparation for the next level. And it also let me know some things that I may have wanted but not known I wanted at the time or needed at the time. So this really came in handy and served a lot of purposes. So the things that I was looking to get were, I wanted to move from the crop sensor to a full frame sensor, and I wanted to work with this C-Log. One of the things I really wanted to do when I started working with YouTube videos was I wanted to start color grading. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I'm an artist and I just thought it was cool and I wanted to play around in that world. But yeah, I wanted to color grade my work just to see how it would come out. And I have to say, having C-Log was the best decision I ever made. So yes, I wanted the extra challenge of color grading all of my videos, which meant, once again, I had to do a ton of research. Of course, last year, the frenzy was all around the R5 and the R6. And let's just say both are amazing cameras. But here's the thing, they were too much. The R5 is the ultimate mirrorless camera, but I didn't need it. Too expensive, too many features, I don't need 8K, I didn't need all of that. The R6, again, it's just an amazing camera. And it's not as powerful as the R5, it just was too much. And still a little bit too expensive. And that's what led me to the camera that I chose. The only funny part about this reveal is I've got it recorded on my Galaxy S10. But hey, we're here. So here's the new camera, guys. This is the camera that I chose. It's the Canon EOS R, but you already knew that, you saw the thumbnail. Why did I choose this camera? Well, obviously because C-Log, just told you how much I wanted to do that. The flip out screen, full frame, RF glass, Basically, it ticked off all the boxes that I needed ticked off in order to get me where I needed to be as far as a creator. Very happy with this camera already. It's only been a couple days, so I still haven't really put it through its paces, but so far so good. And mainly, yeah, I feel like this was a good choice. Now, mind you, it was a bit of a competition because I was going back and forth between this and the Canon EOS 90D. I would say, guys, that's a great camera to look at also. So and amazingly enough, these are older cameras, but they just do so many good things. But at the end of the day, came to choose the EOS R, and yeah, not mad at this choice at all. Look, if you think that getting a new expensive camera or an expensive camera of any type is going to make you a better creator, I'm just here to tell you guys, no, it's not. That's not what's going to make you a better creator. What makes you a better creator is your imagination and your creativity. What I will say is that creators should work with the best tools for them, the ones that make them feel the most comfortable and the ones that they feel will help them achieve their goals creatively. So let's just use my journey as an example. I could have got the more expensive R5 or the R6, but honestly, they just weren't good fits. I don't need 8K, I don't need all that 4K stuff, not right now. I don't need dual card slots. I would have been just wasting a feature. I would have wasted the 8K, I would have wasted the 4K, honestly. This in-body stabilization, maybe, but I don't move the camera that much to where I need it, and the lenses are stabilized. So that's what led me to purchasing the R, and it was the right choice. Everything I need is there, is doing everything that I need and more. It even has features I probably won't use. So that's how I know it was the right choice. But it had all the things I needed, including C-Log, all of those things. And once I got it out the box, it felt just as comfortable as the Shinhan touch liners or the Tombow Fudinaseke brush pen. So just to summarize, guys, the one thing that you want to do whenever you're looking at any tool is you want to make sure that the tool works for you, that you don't have to dedicate extra brain cells to thinking about it or whether it'll fail or anything like that. You just want your tool to work so that you can then focus on your project and completing it, whether it's a painting, drawing, YouTube video, TikTok, whatever. It's got to be trustworthy for you to work with. And now I feel I've got a trustworthy tool that I could create some of the best content that I'm about to create. And that is a big weight off of my shoulders. And it turned my week, which was crisis, into a week without crisis. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please go ahead and give it the big thumbs up. And you know that the thumbs up, the likes are the lifeblood of this channel. And that's how we will defeat the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure that you guys are sharing these videos all over the internet. Please share. Go ahead and share. It's cool. It's cool. Go share. Go share. Make sure you guys are hitting the bell icon. That's another way to defeat the algorithm so that you know when I post up a new video. What else? What we got? Oh, Twitter and Instagram. You know where to holler at me at DKG72. Facebook fan page, TikTok, that's David Gordon 72. Now guys, if you like what you're seeing on the channel and you want to support the channel, the best way you can do that is through Patreon. Pick a tier, go over to Patreon DKG72 Comics and just pick a tier and go from there. Or I have my comic books, my coloring books, notebooks, journals, all of those good things linked below in the description, as well as some suggestions for tools that you can use that are affiliate linked from Amazon. So definitely hit those and see what you like. All right, guys, this is a first. I can't talk. This is a good first video with the brand new camera. I'm really liking it so far. I'm liking everything that I'm seeing. So With that said, it's your boy. You know who it is. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.